Hello, everyone, and welcome to my buddy, Mr. English. This is day 11 of the 30-day English Shadowing Challenge. Today, we'll practice shadowing with a short story called A Difficult Decision. After each sentence, I'll explain useful vocabulary words or phrases, so you can learn while you practice speaking. Let's begin. First, listen carefully, then repeat after me when I speak. I'll stop for a short moment after each line, so you have time to repeat. For several weeks, a difficult decision had been quietly following me. At work, a new opportunity had appeared, and at first glance, it seemed both exciting and promising. Now try shadowing me again. For several weeks, a difficult decision had been quietly following me. At work, a new opportunity had appeared, and at first glance, it seemed both exciting and promising. Now, here's important words from that sentence. Decision. It means a choice you make after thinking about something. In simple words, it's when you choose one option over another. We use decision when talking about choices in daily life, work, or important situations. It's very common in storytelling and everyday conversations. Opportunity. It means a chance to do something, achieve something, or improve a situation. In simple words, it's a moment you can use to your advantage. We use opportunity when talking about possibilities, chances, or situations where action can lead to a benefit. It's very common in work, school, travel, and everyday life. Let's go to the next sentence. It offered the chance to develop new skills, take on greater responsibility, and move forward professionally. However, as I looked beyond the surface, doubts began to emerge. Now try shadowing me again. It offered the chance to develop new skills, take on greater responsibility, and move forward professionally. However, as I looked beyond the surface, doubts began to emerge. Now, let's break down the key vocabularies. Take on. It has a few common meanings, but the main one is to accept responsibility or a task. In simple words, it's to agree to do something or handle something. We use take on when talking about work, challenges, or responsibilities. It can also mean to confront someone or something, depending on the context. Emerge. It means to appear, come out, or become visible. In simple words, it's when something or someone comes into view or becomes known. We use emerge when talking about people, ideas, situations, or things that appear or develop. It's common in storytelling, news, and everyday descriptions. Let's move on to the next line. The position demanded longer hours, higher expectations, and less personal time. I found myself caught between ambition and hesitation, unsure which direction would lead to greater satisfaction. Now try shadowing me again. The position demanded longer hours, higher expectations, and less personal time. I found myself caught between ambition and hesitation, unsure which direction would lead to greater satisfaction. Now here's the vocabularies you need to know. Demanded. It means to ask for something firmly or insistently. In simple words, it's requesting or insisting strongly. We use demanded when talking about requests, commands, or situations where someone insists on something. It's common in storytelling, reports, or everyday conversations when expressing strong insistence. Unsure. It means not certain about something or having doubts. In simple words, it's when you don't know what to do or think. We use unsure when talking about feelings, decisions, or situations where someone is uncertain or hesitant. It's very common in everyday conversations and storytelling. Now listen and repeat the next line. Some days, the idea of change filled me with energy and motivation. On other days, the uncertainty felt heavy, making me question whether the timing was right. Now try shadowing me again. Some days, the idea of change filled me with energy and motivation. On other days, the uncertainty felt heavy, making me question whether the timing was right. Here's words from that sentence you should learn. Uncertainty. It means not knowing what will happen or not feeling sure about a situation. In simple words, it's a feeling of doubt or lack of clarity. We use uncertainty when talking about situations where the future is unclear, like decisions, changes, or new experiences. It's often used to describe emotions and thoughts. Whether it is used to talk about two or more possible choices or situations. In simple words, it means if or not. We use whether when someone is not sure which option is true or will happen. It often appears after verbs like know, decide, wonder, or ask. Let's continue with the next sentence. The constant back and forth slowly became exhausting. One evening, I decided to pause and reflect instead of continuing to overthink. Now try shadowing me again. The constant back and forth slowly became exhausting. One evening, I decided to pause and reflect instead of continuing to overthink. Now here's key phrases you should remember. Back and forth. It means moving or going between two sides repeatedly, or changing ideas or decisions many times. In simple words, it's when something goes one way, then the other. We use back and forth when talking about movement, conversations, arguments, or indecision. It's very common in daily speech and storytelling. Exhausting. It means something makes you feel very tired, both physically or mentally. In simple words, it uses up all your energy. We use exhausting to describe activities, situations, or experiences that require a lot of effort, like long workdays, difficult decisions, or emotional stress. Let's continue with the next part. I wrote down my priorities, my long term goals, and what I needed to feel balanced and fulfilled. Putting my thoughts into words brought clarity I hadn't expected. Now try shadowing me again. I wrote down my priorities, my long term goals, and what I needed to feel balanced and fulfilled. Putting my thoughts into words brought clarity I hadn't expected. Let's pull out useful words from that sentence. Long term goals. It refers to plans or achievements you want to reach in the future, usually over a long period of time. In simple words, these are big goals that take time. We use long term goals when talking about careers, education, personal growth, or life plans, things that can't be achieved quickly and need patience and effort. Fulfilled. It means you feel satisfied, happy, and complete, especially because you achieved something important. In simple words, it's the feeling of having done something meaningful. We use fulfilled when talking about goals, dreams, or experiences that give a deep sense of satisfaction, not just temporary happiness. Let's shadow the next line. Gradually, the decision stopped feeling overwhelming. I accepted that no option was completely risk free. What mattered most was choosing the path that aligned with my values and well being. Now try shadowing me again. Gradually, the decision stopped feeling overwhelming. I accepted that no option was completely risk-free. What mattered most was choosing the path that aligned with my values and well-being. Now, let's break down the key vocabulary. Risk-free. It means something has no danger or chance of loss. In simple words, it's safe and has no risk. We use risk-free when talking about choices, offers, decisions, or situations where nothing bad is expected to happen. It's common in daily conversation and also in business or advertising. Well-being. It refers to your overall health and happiness, both physical and mental. In simple words, it's about how well you feel in your life. We use well-being when talking about health, balance, and quality of life. It's often used in conversations about work, lifestyle, stress, and personal care. Great job today! You're doing amazing. If there's any vocabulary or phrase you don't understand, comment it below, and I'll explain it for you. Keep practicing and join the 30-day shadowing challenge. Like the video, subscribe, and I'll see you in day 12.